Let me tell y'all something right now. You ain't here by accident. You didn't just show up on this earth because your mama and daddy had a good night. No, sir. You were placed here, designed, mapped out. See, before you took your first breath, before you opened your eyes for the very first time, God already had a plan, a divine setup, a blueprint for your life. Now, I know sometimes it don't look like that. I know sometimes you feel like, why me? Why is all this happening to me? You go through trials, folks turn their back on you, you lose jobs, get your heart broke, and you sitting there wondering, what's the point of all this? But let me tell you, God don't waste no pain. Every heartbreak, every setback, every loss, it's all a part of the plan. It's preparation. You can't have a testimony without a test. You know, I used to be homeless, slept in my car, ate bologna sandwiches every day. You're fitting to meet all of them. Didn't know where my next meal was coming from. And I'm telling you, it was dark, real dark. But even in that car, you're fitting to meet all of them. Even in the lowest moment of my life, I had this feeling deep down that it wasn't over, that something bigger was coming to meet all of them. And I ain't saying that to brag. I'm saying that because it's true for you too. What you got to understand is, delay don't mean denial. Fitting to meet all of them just because it ain't happening, that don't mean it ain't going to happen. God is working behind the scenes. He moving pieces you can't see. Some doors need to close before the right ones can open. Some people need to walk out of your life so the right ones can walk in. And you got to trust that. You got to keep walking, keep grinding, keep believing, even when it don't make sense. See, faith ain't just for the good days. Faith is for the days when you don't feel like getting up. You're fitting to meet all of them when nothing in your life is looking like what God promised you. That's when faith kicks in. That's when you remind yourself, I ain't alone in this. I got a God who's already written the end of my story, and guess what? It ends in victory. But here's the thing, you can't just sit on the plan. You got to move. God will give you the vision, but he expects you to take steps. Don't wait till it's perfect. Don't wait till you got it all figured out. Start where you are with what you got. And don't you dare compare your journey to nobody else's. What's meant for you is meant for you. Nobody can block it. Nobody can steal it. Nobody can stop what's already yours. You've been too much to quit now. There's purpose in your pain. There's growth in your struggle. And there's a blessing with your name on it. All you got to do is keep going. Let me break this down for you, because a lot of people walk around thinking they just exist. Like they just here, taking up space, doing the daily grind, and that's it. But that ain't true, not even a little bit. You got to understand something deep, something foundational. You were created with purpose. There is nothing random about you, nothing accidental. You are the result of a divine decision, a choice made by the one who sees the end before the beginning even starts. You might not have all the answers right now. You're fitting to meet all of them, and maybe life ain't looking like what you hoped it would. But let me tell you, you're here on purpose, for a purpose. Every gift you got, every talent you carry, every dream buried inside you, that's all part of the design. And I'm telling you, God don't make mistakes. He didn't slip up when he made you. You weren't overlooked. You weren't forgotten. You weren't some side project. No, you were fearfully and wonderfully made. And that means what you got inside you, your voice, your creativity, your ideas, your compassion, your resilience. That's not by accident. That's part of a plan that's bigger than what you can see right now. See, the world will try to convince you otherwise. People might try to label you. They'll say you're not good enough, not smart enough, not connected enough. But none of that matters when God's hand is on your life. Because when he writes your story, you don't matter who doubts you. It don't matter who walks away. It don't matter what your past looks like. God will still take all of it, the good, the bad, the broken, and turn it into something powerful. Now, the problem is a lot of folks don't see their own value. They look at where they are, what they don't have. You're fitting to meet all of them and think they've already missed it, but you ain't missed nothing. As long as you're still breathing, the plan is still in motion. You're fitting to meet all of them. Don't let your current situation define your final destination. Just because you're in the middle of a hard season doesn't mean the story ends there. Some of the greatest chapters in life come after the toughest storms. And let me tell you, purpose ain't always loud. It ain't always flashy. Sometimes it's in the quiet moments. Sometimes it's in the way you encourage somebody else, or the way you show up even when you feel empty. Purpose shows up in your consistency, in your perseverance, in the way you keep getting back up no matter how many times life knocks you down. And if you pay attention, really pay attention, you'll start to see how every moment, every encounter, every little win or setback is pointing you towards something greater. You may not have all the answers, but the one who made you does. And he ain't finished with you yet. ChatGPT said in life, got a way of throwing punches you ain't ready for. You ever been hit so hard by something, a loss, a betrayal, a disappointment, that it took the wine right out to you? That's the kind of pain I'm talking about. And when you in it, when you right in the middle of the storm, it don't feel like it's part of anything bigger. It just feels like hurt at them. But here's what you got to understand: the pain, the setbacks, the heartbreak, they ain't the end. They're part of the process. They're shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for the thing you've been praying for. You just can't see it yet. See, everybody wants success. Everybody wants the dream. But don't nobody want to go through what it takes to get there. People pray for strength, but then they complain when the struggle shows up. Let me tell you, strength only comes from resistance. You don't get stronger in comfort. You grow when you got to push through, when you got to rise up even when everything in you wants to quit. God ain't just going to hand you the blessing without making sure you're ready to carry it. And the way he makes sure is by letting you walk through some fire, not to burn you, but to refine you. You ever look back on something that broke your heart and realize it actually built you? That's because it was necessary. That closed door, it protected you. That breakup, it redirected you. That job you didn't get, it opened you up for the one that lined up with your purpose. See, we don't always understand it while we're in it. We cry, we question, we doubt. But later on, sometimes years later, we see that God knew exactly what he was doing. And don't think for a second that your pain makes you weak. Nah, it actually proves how strong you are. Because you're still here. You're still standing. You might be bruised. You're finna meet all of them. Might be limping, but you didn't give up. That's power. That's grit. That's faith in motion. And don't you let nobody make you feel ashamed of what you've been through. You're fitting to meet all of them. Your scars are proof that you survived what was meant to. They tell the story of your strength. Now, the enemy would love nothing more than for you to stay stuck in that pain, to believe that the setback is permanent. But it's not. It's a setup. That trial you're going through, it's not just about you. Somebody else gonna need to hear how you made it. Your story's gonna help somebody else keep going. So don't hide from your struggle. Embrace it. Learn from it. Let it teach you what comfort never could. Pain's got purpose. You're fit to meet all of them. Setback's got strategy. God don't let you go through anything just to hurt you. He's building something in you that can't be built any other way. A lot of folks sit around waiting on everything to line up before they move. Waiting on the perfect time, the perfect setup, the perfect opportunity. Let me tell you something straight. If you wait for perfect, you'll be waiting the rest of your life. Faith don't work like that. Faith ain't about having all the answers before you take the first step. Faith is when you step without knowing how it's all gonna come together, but you trust the one who told you to move. Too many people talk about the vision they got, the dream that's been burning in their heart, but they never act on it. They pray for direction. But when God shows him the first step, they freeze up. They say, I'm not ready. I don't have enough money. I don't know the right people. But let me tell you something. If God gave you the vision, he's already made a way. You ain't supposed to have it all figured out. You're just supposed to trust and go. See, faith is a verb. It's action. You can't say you believe and then sit still. You got to move like you already know it's going to work out. You got to wake up every day and put one foot in front of the other, even if the path ain't clear. You got to build that business even when the money low. You got to write that book even nobody's watching. You got to show up consistently, faithfully, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel qualified. Because guess what? Obedience is what activates the blessing. God ain't asking you to finish the race today. He's just asking you to start. Now don't get it twisted. Faith ain't always loud. It don't always mean you're making big moves every second. Sometimes it's in the little things. Keeping your attitude right when everything going wrong. Getting up early to pray when you'd rather sleep. Helping somebody else while you're still waiting on your own breakthrough. That's faith too. It's the small steps, the daily choices that build the life you dream about. And don't think for a second you got to do it all by yourself. God never sends you out alone. He equips who he calls. He don't call the quad, he qualified the call. So whatever you think you lack, skills, resources, connections, he'll fill the gap. But you got to be willing to move while the pieces are still coming together. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step and watch what happens. What folks don't understand is movement is faith's language. It's how you tell God, I believe you. I trust you. Even when I can't see it, I know you'll work him. And when you move like that, when you walk with confidence and uncertainty, you give God permission to do the impossible. But he can't bless what you won't begin. So you gotta move, even when it's messy, even when it's scary, even when it don't make no sense. That's what faith looks like. You've had to meet all of them. One of the biggest mistakes people make is looking left and right, watching what everybody else is doing and thinking they've fallen behind. That's a trap. Social media done made it real easy to feel like you're not enough. You see somebody your age driving a fancy car, got the house, the followers, the business. And here you are working 2 jobs and trying to fit and meet all of them, trying to make ends meet. And you start thinking, maybe I missed it. Maybe I ain't cut out for more. Let me tell you something. Stop comparing your chapter 3 to somebody else's chapter 20. Their path ain't your path. Your journey was handcrafted, tailor-made, designed specifically for you. What's meant for you cannot pass you by. If God said it's yours, it's yours. Don't matter who's ahead, who's louder, who's more connected. Nobody can block a blessing that got your name on it. Nobody can stop what's been divinely assigned to your life. But you got to stop looking around and start looking within. Everything you need to walk into your purpose is already in you. You don't need their spotlight. You don't need their approval. You need to stay in your lane and run your race. See, when you get caught up in comparison, you start doubting your own gifts. You start thinking maybe you should be doing what they're doing, saying what they're saying. But that's dangerous. You weren't built to be a copy. You were built to be an original. There's something you got that nobody else does. And when you try to be somebody else, the world misses out on what only you can bring. You don't need to chase nobody's life. You just need to show up fully in yours. And here's the thing. Everybody moves at their own pace. Some folks hit success early. Some folks bloom later. But late don't mean less. Late don't mean you're off track. Some of the strongest trees take the longest time to grow. You can fit and meet our roots go deep. And the deeper the roots, the stronger the foundation. So while it might look like nothing's happening in your life right now, trust that something is growing beneath the surface. You've been prepared. You've been refined. And when the time is right, it's going to blossom in a way that can't be ignored. You got to keep your eyes on your own paper. Don't let somebody else's highlight reel make you feel like you're losing. You don't know what battles they're fighting behind the scenes. You don't know what sacrifices they made or what they had to go through to get where they are. And even if they got it first, that don't mean they got it better. Timing is different for everybody, but favor makes up the difference. So stay focused, keep building, keep showing up. You're not behind, you're not late, you're right where you need to be. Your lane is blessed and your process is sacred. And when it's your turn, nobody can take what was always meant to be yours. Let me tell you something. You didn't come this far to only come this far. You got breath in your lungs, which means God ain't done with you yet. He's still writing your story, and baby, the next chapter down, be the one that changes everything. You got to stop waiting for a sign. The fact that you woke up today is the sign. So hold your head high. You got purpose in your bones, destiny in your DNA, and favor that can't be denied. Don't you dare settle. Don't you dare shrink to fit into spaces you've outgrown. Remember this. Your setback is a setup for your comeback. What's coming is better than what's gone. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. You got to move like it's already yours. Speak it, walk it, believe it. And don't just chase the dream. Live like it's real before anybody else can see it. Because the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. So rise up. This is your moment. You're fit to meet all of them. Push through the pain, trust the plan, and walk in your purpose like the crown was made just for you. Because it was.